Alright, Dave. Let's go, Dave.
Testing, testing. It works, it works. How you guys doing? This has been awesome. Thank you, Chanel. Just kind of going along with that idea of the rise above and having a story. So we all have a story, and this is going to be a little poem type deal about that. See, my life tells a story, and so does yours. It started as a child with sights of dreams, of nice nights and vivid images of successful scenes. But from all this I glean that, like Forrest Gump, life is a box of chocolates, and you never know which one you're gonna get. See, I suppose this outerwear, or epidermis that I call skin, has enough melanin to put me in a category, or to some, a box. But I suppose you, I, me, and we are that, and more. Now I want you to come on a journey. So contemplate for a moment. Use your God-given imagination and dream. Dream of what it's like to belong, or more so what it's like not to. Or to times feel socially ostracized like an ex-cop on the wrong side of a jail cell. What if you were Latino, among others, like you for pre-K, but when you get to kindergarten it stops being a kinder garden and more like a vanilla, nice, filled one. But those other plants don't look like you. See, you feel out of place. You have a Kia Rio car for NASCAR and feel so much out of race. Wrong vehicle. See, I'm Latino. See, I'm one who became aware of brownness in elementary. In terms of learning, it was one of those different factors that was elementary. See, I noticed that I differed from the kids standing next to me, but I always seemed to act appropriate and speak respectfully. See, I want you to imagine yourself as a child in class being called to the office for whatever reason it was. I just know that called my name, yet this time it didn't sound the same. At least nothing like my family says it. Echoing from the intercom was the sound of an Anglo voice with words uttered that were utterly wrong. Martinez. I was like, DK? Or huh? I'm in first grade, and y'all can't get the only Hispanic's name right. SMH. Thought maybe he's never said my name before. Dream. See yourself as a child down the line, maybe a few more years. You, this awkward plant, moves once and then moves again. Yet this time, you find yourself amongst plants of a darker complexion, looking like one half of the man that got inaugurated recently and voted in the last election, and not the vanilla side. See, I was one of those bilingual students, the ones that spoke English and Spanish and English, those kind. But I quickly learned that English could be spoken in a number of ways, but I didn't know how to judge the scale. See, pound for pound, my words varied depending on my spheres. In other words, my words meant different things for different ears. See, when I was in the city, I had to talk ghetto. Some might call it Ebonics. But to my teachers, I spoke that capital E English, as if I had to learn to read from hooked on phonics. See, my baseball teammates seemed to call it English, but I suppose it was lowercase e, more like a slang. See, you might be a little confused, wondering how this is possible. Let me just clarify, for all those who may find this story maybe too simplistic or somewhat of an obstacle. See, I went to elementary school, I was in the burbs, I learned I was brown, you know, they said Martinez. I played ball in Boston, and, you know, in a being where my English wasn't helpful or profound, and there I discovered a culture and a language. I discovered I lacked communication skills at first, which caused me some distance and anguish. I then moved once in 6th and 10th, and here I was in high school back in Boston. To some I had the wrong dialect, I suppose, who knows. Let's just say I easily had to learn to adapt, so I did, over and over again, like Nelly and Tim McGraw. So in general, my life has been a journey, and so is yours. It has been one of dreams and sights of dreams, of nice nights and vivid images of successful scenes. So I guess our lives are like forest. We didn't choose our circumstance or our skin tone. This life, a box of chocolates, are filled with all different types of filling and exteriors, and seeping through the seams of your life are stories unspoken. use your Pokemon skills to capture them and to release them when needed to take on the giants of our day. See, you have dreams and a story to tell, like the poking heads of a turtle stemming out of its shell. So, before you leave who you are to checked out box of white, black, Hispanic, Latino, Asian, Pacific Islander, or other, or maybe a mix, your story needs to be told because what you know and have experienced is legit. So dream. Take time to process the journey. You, I, me, and we have a story to tell. So stop lying to yourself and claiming your words ain't relevant. It's relevant. Thank you guys.